Ruler School is brought to you by Odyssey Games, where you can go to get singles for all your Force of Will and other trading card games, as well as these amazing patrons.
Thank you for your support. Enjoy the video.
Hey there, Rulers. DMO73 here, bringing you the deck profile for the GunPlaGoat Arthur Machines Blue, White, Green. This was a YouTube member deck list. If you're interested in having your deck list featured and played on the channel, you can click that join button down below to look into doing that. But yeah, this is a blue, white, green Arthur Machines list. It's a lot more focused on those +1/+1 counters again, but using some of the new tools that came with Alice versions 2, and then taking advantage of the dual stones to give some additional utility as well as protection that the deck didn't necessarily have before. So let's go ahead and dig right in. Obviously, Arthur is our front side. We're playing him particularly because we want access to a rune deck, and he counts as a machine on the front. So we get to really maximize cards like cards like Mariabella's work and Remote Control Beast to really apply a lot of pressure and keep our hand full very quickly. We're playing Clockwork Girl to be able to give our blue stones green because we want access to green as much as possible for things like Kaguya and Deus Ex, but also those +1 counters and some consistency because she gives you that other card when she dies. 4 Guinevere and 4 Vivian as our other kind of main linchpin cards. 3 copies of Twin Robot, really nice as a follow-up to Vivian since it generates you that second counter, second machine almost immediately for 1, so you can kind of pay 1 and get 2 counters on the Viv, which is amazing. 3 Mariabella because it gets you any machine, which is really nice to be able to go and grab. 3 Deus Ex Machina, who is kind of the backup linchpin container of the deck. Mariabella also helps us grab the 1-of copy of Lancelot, which you don't always really want Lancelot right now in this format, and so when only playing 1, Mariabella just essentially says you can go get him when you need it. And then we're playing 3 copies of Kaguya. We can get to Rune 2 very easily with free runes from Maintenance and Explore the Unknown. And so then you're just kind of like, hey, by the way, here's a Kaguya to back up my board, especially if your board's gone wide and your opponent needs to play a big spell to try to get rid of them all. You can use Kaguya to help answer that. And then 4 copies of Remote Control Beast, 4 Machine Lab of Leganis because it's a machine, as well as being able to recycle, and thus you get access to the Guinevere Infinite Tokens combination if you want. 3 copies of Determination of the Machine Lord. We're primarily using it for the get 1 to field, get 1 to grave, or the swiftness. It's an excellent way to push through damage. And then 4 copies of Mariabella's work to finish the draw power. Going into the stones, we're playing 2 Dramaturgy, 4 Light Vapors, and 4 Deep Wood to give us the most. Obviously, we want every stone to be blue, and then we want splash of white and green. Going into the runes, we're playing Maintenance, Scrap and Build, so that as the game goes on, you can kind of maybe go draw into something better. We don't have a ton of high-cost machines, so there's not a ton that you're going to be able to grab off of this in terms of like really massive value, but it is something for you to consider. Explore the Unknown to help dig for your Mariabella, your Deus Ex Machina, or your Kaguya. Nature's Beauty for those times when you're at a stalemate and you just want to say, well, I'm going to push through and say you can't block anything. And then lastly, an Unsealing of God, which is really helpful to pick off things like a shield or Seal of Lenneth or stuff, or a Hot Spring before it gets turned online. Can be really helpful there. Sideboard wise, we didn't see it in the match, but we play 3 Seal of Lenneth, 2 Loki's Insight, 3 Betrayer Returns, 2 Underwater Robot, which is really good against aggro matchups, 3 Arondites, and then 2 copies of Don't Cheat if we're playing up against a fellow Rune Ruler. So there you guys have it. Again, huge thanks to GunPlaGoat for sending us this deck list. It was a ton of fun to play. We were happy to be able to feature it. This is 100% his idea. And again, if you guys are considering wanting to be able to show your stuff off on the channel, go ahead and click that join button down below at the support staff level, and you get to do this at least once a month. And until then, hopefully you guys enjoy this deck list and give it a shot, either on Untap or if you do have people that you can meet with in person during this time to be able to play. But until next time, this is DMO73 saying class dismissed.